is something like that. So that small little model that I just stuck together for, to give you guys an understanding of what I'm going to make is called a maquette. So I work with maquettes often when I'm doing my work because, sometimes you just can't see it. And that's hard for me to sketch. So if I have an idea that I can't sketch, I don't know what to do, I will build a small scale model. But the question is, how do you build something like this? It's leaning, okay? If I stand it up, one of them's off the ground, how am I going to keep everything in line? That's what I said. When I'm making it, it's going to be sitting something like this. So I have to support this piece. And I want to support this piece all the way through the disc firing. So to do that, I built some supports for the pieces. And I'm working right on a kiln shelf. When I have pieces that I don't feel like I can move easily, if I do move them, I will destroy them. I work on a kiln shelf. Makes life really easy. I also work on what's called a waster slab when I have a piece like this. Because what I want is this piece to shrink evenly through the drying process and the firing process. And that's what this slab will do. It shrinks with the piece, so it helps to make that whole transition through shrinkage much more gentle. So, let's see, who do I want to attach first? Let's see how this thing's going to fit. This one's just going to sit up here, and I really need to make sure, you'll note that I've got my marks, my pattern is already in place on all of these. So I know when I go to attach this one, I know right where it goes because I have a circle in place, it lines up with this one, it's on the template when I make it, and I put the lines in right from the template, so all of them are very, very close to the same. And this one ended up here. So ultimately, when this piece is together, it's going to sit just like this. I'll put the end caps on it after. But this is the trick. How do I keep things, how do I make forms like this? You've got to support. So let me start. I'll get a portion of this put together, and I'll finish putting it together later, but at least I can start. This one has a reinforcing coil in it, so it's ready to stand up there. I need to reinforce this one. Now I'm reinforcing this just to give this a little bit more surface area for its attachment. I'm asking a lot of a smaller piece of clay. This is pretty big, it's pretty heavy, and I really need a little bit more surface area in my mind to keep these attached through the firings and the drying processes. So, put this off to the side for a moment, and slap a reinforcing coil in here, and then I will put this together. I do work quite stiff. If you don't, when you're doing pieces like this, you kind of have to. If you don't, the pieces start moving, warping, and bending, and you're going to get, well, things just won't stay true for you. And for work like the work I make, precision is really important. The pieces really need to stay exactly how I want them to, level, hopefully with no warping or cracking, but we won't find that out until later. But we really want to do everything we can to keep the piece from having any issues. Again, this is that reinforcing every joint whenever possible. just going to score right up to my circle, edge. Score this guy. Now I want to bring my finger through here. I want to push that soft coil up. Kind of want it on an angle, so when I push this, when I push it together, if that's angling out, it pushes it to flat. It gives me a good bond. We all know about poking holes in ceramic pieces and what happens if we don't. So right now is generally the time when I will put a hole or two in the hidden spot. Because this way, if I'm consistent and I do it on all 3-4 parts, whatever I'm putting together, one pinhole covers the whole piece, as long as I remember to do it. If I don't remember to do it, I find out when it goes through the kiln, and I open the kiln up and I have crunch. So remember, you have to do it. It's really important to do it. So that's why when I do that, I just want to make sure I have everything lined up before I make an attachment so that they'll fit. Close. As long as this one will fit, I'm in good shape. Give it a little bit of a wiggle. I really want to see that ooze line. It's really important to see it coming all the way through. It's pretty good. Round. Trim a little bit off where it's high. I'll take just a little bit more off. Now, will you guys really notice that when this piece is done and sitting in that orientation that it's a little bit off, not quite perfectly level? You may not, but the reality is I know it. And if I know it, I need to make a decision about do I want to leave it or fix it. And it only took a minute to get it a little bit closer. So if it only takes a minute to try to visually fix something, I will. Because that's important to me. My name ultimately is on the bottom of this piece. So how well crafted it is, to me, is hugely important. Bringing my hand in here to clean up the slip line. I'm pretty confident that'll stay together. Now, I do have some other pieces just to give you an idea of where it's going to go. I'll clean this up later. It's going to go here. There might be another one that comes out a little bit further, that's smaller, but this gives you a sense of where this piece is heading from here. The next step is to continue working on this one, get it ready, cleaned up, So, you guys can get back to work.